Okay, everyone, welcome to episode 19 of
Ooh, the Hot Johnson.
Oh, that was
That
bad.
was really bad.
Good thing we rehearsed that.
We worked really hard on
We
that
did.
one,
No,
guys.
kidding, we didn't.
At all.
Everything off the cuff, off the top of the dome.
Yeah. All right, Brawny boy, what are we talking about this week?
Well, I was thinking about what I was most present to earlier today. And I was thinking so much about the value of raising your vibration and what that does for someone's life. You know, raising your vibration can sound like a woo-woo practice, right? But when you understand what it means and the value that it can do for your life, I think it's so important to talk about and to understand and to actually incorporate into your practice in your daily life.
So from your perspective, I'm curious, what is it for somebody who's like, what does it mean to raise my vibe, bro? What does it mean to raise your vibration? What do you mean by that?
It's all about improving the way you feel. So taking your emotional temperature right now, getting a good sense for how you're feeling, whether you put that into a word, you know, maybe you're content, maybe you're bored, maybe you're angry, maybe you're feeling hopeful, maybe you're feeling excited. So get a sense of where you're at emotionally. You can put a word to it, or you can rate it out of 10.
That's a good question. If you're listening right now, I like that. What is your emotional temperature? What are you feeling right now? Rate it out of 10.
Yeah, or your vibrational temperature.
Okay, so how would
What's your
someone
vibe?
how would someone respond to what is your vibrational
Well, it's the same
temperature?
thing.
It's the same thing.
Same thing.
So basically for you, like vibration equates to just like how you're feeling.
It's exactly what it means.
Okay, so this
Exactly
episode
what
is
it
also
means.
it's about like just how to feel better.
I think when you use the language raising your vibe, I think you get the sense that everything is vibrational, right? Everything is energetic, right? And that is not woo-woo speak. That is fact. That is reality. That everything in reality is made up of energy. And what is energy? Energy is vibrating bits of frequency. Everything is just vibration, right? And that includes us, who we are, our very essence of our being and our physical being. We are just vibration. That's why music feels so good to us, is because it's just vibration passing through our bodies. And when we feel the vibe, that's why dancing is inspired, right? And so when we raise our vibe, it's moving faster. Happiness, joy, love, passion, freedom, empowerment, those are all high vibrational frequencies. Low vibration is depression, grief, powerlessness, anger, fear. These are all low vibration. Now, don't mistake low vibration to be wrong and high vibration to be right, because that's not the case at all. There is no such thing as wrong and right vibration. Everything is just an indicator of where you're at energetically. And the reason why it's so good to raise your vibration, of course, is because it feels good. It feels good to be on that high vibration, and it feels bad to be on a low vibration. And so I think the key to life is that when we are in a low vibration, to be humble to it. A lot of people mask and pretend that they don't feel low when they are low. What's the common response to when you ask someone how they're doing? I'm fine.
Yeah, or just
Right?
good. Good,
Yeah,
you.
I'm good. Yeah, they mask. They're numb to how they're really feeling.
Well, even if you're not numb and you do know, you know, it's kind of just a societal programming where we don't actually stop down and you're like, I'm really stressed. My boss is pissing me off. Like, you know, it's just this we're
We bypass our shit and play nice so that we don't have to allow other people the burden of dealing with our stressors of life. Yeah. So that's the value behind raising your vibe. And so, yeah, you can also measure your vibration by asking yourself, how am I doing on a scale of 1 to 10? You know, and put it to the decimal point. Like right now in this moment, I feel a 9.2 out of 10, feeling juicy. And I always feel really, really good when I'm in service. Whenever I'm in a session, whenever I'm doing life coaching work, I'm always feeling high vibe, because that's the work that's in alignment with my highest self.
right, which is another good thing for people to be thoughtful of right now as you're listening. Like, when are the moments where you are in that higher vibration? Like, I think we can do mindful practices or intentionally do things to increase our vibration or make us feel better. But it's also paying attention to like, when are those moments where you naturally get into that state?
100%. 100%. Another one of my favorite questions, and this is a great question regardless of where you're at on the scale. So whether you're like a 2 or a 1 out of 10, or you're where I'm at, a 9.2. How are you, by the way?
Right now,
Yeah, out of 10.
I'm like a 50,000.6. I'm feeling really, really good. I honestly feel like a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Juicy.
Yeah, I feel great.
Juicy bae.
Yeah.
Love that.
I feel fabulous. I feel like maybe let's go 9.5. I haven't had dinner yet and a little hungry, but
Well, actually stop and tune into your body. Like do a body scan right now and tune into your energy and just like put a subjective number to how you're doing out of 10.
Honestly, what came to me was 10.6.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm great.
That's like when someone says, we give it 110%.
Yeah. Just fucking
awesome.
Jesus mode.
Wow.
Yeah.
Full Christ consciousness.
Feeling real good right about now.
LOVE. Is it the fireplace to our right, or is it this big, beautiful, on our 85-inch screen, we got snow falling, a YouTube video of a cozy cabin fireplace. Delightful.
Yeah, I'm just
Or is
really
it the fact that you're with your favorite human being on the planet, your brother?
Combination of all those things. We're in the month of
Yes.
December, Christmas, my favorite time of the year. Excited for snow, grateful for the love in my life, the family in my life. Just literally everything is I'm just feel like I'm very connected to my gratitude.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
What I was going to say, regardless of where you're at on the scale, whether you're a 10.6 like Jesus Dene over here, or if you're feeling a 1 or a 2, to ask yourself, and this is something you have to really tune into your body to stop and take a deep breath and ask yourself, what do I need right now?
Mm-hmm.
What do I need? What do I need? When's the last time you really asked yourself that? It's a very, very, very valuable question, regardless of where you're at on the scale. If you're lower on the scale, the answer might be rest. The answer might be a hug. The answer might be to scream. The answer might be safety. The answer might be, I need more money. The answer might be, I need connection. I need to talk to someone. I need help, right?
I need more play. I need more laughter.
When you're in that lower vibration, you might not even be energetically prepared like think of,
Totally. I think of the times I'm rewinding back to one of the times where I was in my lowest vibration, which I don't always use the language of vibration. I use more the language of like the times where I was feeling really epic or the times where I was really depressed and feeling like shit.
Yes.
And I remember one of the low points of my life where, my vibration would have been like super low. I was really, really depressed at that time. And when you are in such a deep depression, it can be hard to connect to any happy thoughts or desire to want anything. It's like, I think we all know that by turning on music and dancing, it's probably going to improve your vibration, improve your mood. But sometimes when you're in such the depths of despair, you don't even want to do those things.
No.
For me, what helped me when I was in that period of time, and it's really cool now that I'm in counseling school, learning about it through this lens. And even when I was in nutrition school, like learning about Ayurveda plays into this as well, is like when we are in depression, our nervous system can be in shutdown mode.
Yeah.
Our body, our energy can be stifled. It can be literally depressed, pushed down. If you are in that deep of despair or sadness or that low of vibration, any body movement at all can be helpful.
Right.
Like I remember during that period, it was literally just hard to get out of bed. So even just laying in bed and like rolling my wrists or like moving my legs in circles, literally any body movement to move that blocked energy, like Kundalini, it's like moving that energy up your spine, right? And in counseling school, it's all about like more from the perspective of your nervous system. And when you are in depression, that's more of a freeze mode. And so it's like there's things that we can do to help you get out of that nervous system freeze mode more back into a regulated state.
Yes.
It's all the same thing. Like all these different teachings talk about a similar thing, and there are often similar suggestions on how to help that.
All these schools of thought.
Yeah.
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 So one of my favorite questions, and I think the most important question you can ever ask yourself, regardless of where you're at, is what do I need right now? Or what do I want? Because it's within our desires, what attracts us, even if it's something like really small, like going and getting a glass of water. going and talking to someone, going and enjoying a nice meal, going and taking a nice hot shower, going and exercising. Sometimes the most simple things can raise our vibration. Listening to music, doing some artwork. It doesn't really matter what you do as long as it feels authentic to you in response to the question, what do I need right now? And it makes you feel relief to some degree.
Totally. Yeah, that's such a good question to ask yourself, especially when you are struggling or feeling down, just not feeling that high vibe, not feeling that great. Like I remember periods of time in the past where I was really struggling and it is, you know what? Get yourself a sibling who's a life coach because that's been very helpful. I remember over the years where I was like struggling with different things and you literally would say exactly that. We'd have conversations and much similar to what we're doing right now. And you would just like say that to me, like, what do you need right now? Like, what does your soul need?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the other, one of my other favorite questions is what is your soul craving?
Yeah.
Really cuts through the bullshit of everything that you think you need to do in your life right now and goes straight to the essence of what you really want or what you really need. What is your fucking soul craving?
Totally, because you can get too in your head about like, oh, I think I want this, but then like maybe I'm not, I shouldn't be asking that. I shouldn't be wanting that. But you're right. That question of like, what does my soul need cuts through the mind chatter and hopefully just hits right at that heart soul level.
Yes. Give yourself permission to do, be, have, go after whatever the fuck it is that you feel is authentic to you that will raise your vibration into a sexier, more loving, more passionate place. Regardless of where you're at, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on that emotional scale, as long as you're moving in the right direction. And I think it's also so important to talk about momentum here, because I think that when we're first starting to practice shifting our vibration consciously, it's so easy to fall back into our old vibrational set points, our old emotional set points. This isn't something that you practice just once. This is like a moment to moment self-awareness practice of where is my energy at? That's something that we should always be asking ourselves, not to make it like an obsession to the point where we're like driving ourselves crazy. But here's the question. How much do you care about how you feel? Because how you feel is everything, right? And that's actually the essence of why I wanted to talk about this tonight, is to just remind people that there have been people that have been billionaires with all the money, the house, the cars, everything that they could want, material speaking, and they commit suicide. They're still depressed. It doesn't matter what you have, how famous you are. It doesn't matter where you're at in life. What matters is how you feel. How you feel is everything. And so this is a question that we need to be checking in with all the time. How am I feeling? Where's my energy at? And to practice being sensitive to where your energy's really at. Put a measurement on it, whether you're putting the word or the number. And the key, the goal, the intention, the practice is all about searching for thoughts, searching for perspectives, or searching for movements or actions that make you feel some degree of relief. Now, here's how you measure this. Every step up the emotional scale feels like relief. Every step down feels like resistance. So in other words, the worse we feel, the more resistance we have in our mind, body, heart, spirit. The better we feel, the more relief we have. So I always like to remember and remind people those two R words: resistance going down, relief going up. So if you want to know the secret to life, find relief, find relief, find relief, find relief. We are supposed to feel good. We are supposed to live high vibrational. We are supposed to enjoy life. We are supposed to be free. We are supposed to pursue things that make our hearts feel happy. That is who we really are. That is our authentic self expressed. So that is what it means to raise your vibe. And that's what the practice is all about. And I wanted to talk about it today because I know how important it is. I think there's another component to this whole conversation too, that when we do raise our vibration, we tend to attract better feeling things into our lives. We tend to take action towards things that end up making us feel really good.
Yeah. Can I respond to some of what you were just saying there?
Yes.
I love so much of what you're saying. And I feel like for me, sometimes in the like spiritual or personal growth world, I feel like this conversation can get a little bit like, I don't know if the word is like unrealistic, or it can be interpreted in a way that feels a little bit like good.
Spiritual bypassing?
Yeah, a little bit like good vibes only, you know?
Okay. Yep.
Like in counseling school, we were just reading the book.
Well, that's why I'm sorry, but that is why I made a point first saying it's not wrong to be a low vibe. It's not wrong to feel bad.
Right. So like, for example, like in counseling class right now, we were just talking and reading the book, The Untethered Soul,
Yes.
which we referenced in our last podcast.
Yes.
And in that book, it's very much so about like, allow your thoughts to just wash over you and you will never feel pain again. And yeah, I think sometimes in like the spiritual wellness world, there can be this like
feeling or narrative that it's wrong to feel bad or that the point is only to feel good.
Yeah, and that like our life's main purpose is to just feel good, and that is the main goal, and that is realistic all the time. And I
said Jesus, Danae.
Well, I mean, this is not my set point all the time.
I'm teasing you. It's not my set point either.
How many episodes have we recorded where I've been, crying or feeling shitty or whatever? You know, it's definitely not where I'm at all the time. I just happen to be here right now. But I wish in the spiritual wellness world, there was more space for, instead of all these gurus being like, chasing this like enlightenment and peace. And like, there's just like so much conversation around like bliss and joy. Like, I would appreciate if there was more space given to talking about the moments of periods of time where you're not going to feel that, because I think that's just the reality of anything in life, whether you're like in a relationship, a job, there's just like natural ebbs and flows to all of these things. And yes, like joy and feeling good is like super important. But I think there's just, I don't know, there's also real value in allowing those more challenging, lower vibe moments, if you will. I don't know, just seeing the value and appreciating that is going to probably happen.
I know exactly what you're saying. And I think it is such an important thing to talk about in this conversation, because it can absolutely sound like it is good vibes only, and we are quote unquote supposed to only feel good. And there is a bit of a bypassing narrative that negates the importance and the value of the negative emotions in our life as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm happy that you're bringing it up.
And it's like this whole societal thing. It goes back to the beginning of our conversation where it's like you ask people like, oh, how are you? Oh, I'm fine. I'm good. How are you? Like we just live in this society. Same thing with social media. That's all about the highlight reel and us showing the bright, shiny parts of our life. And like for me, I feel like I just am there's a part of me that gets reactive to that, because I'm just like, we are missing such a huge part of the reality of what it is to be human. Like most people that you talk to, how many people are in that high vibe all the time? And it makes us feel when we are in those darker places that we need to hide it away, or that it's like shameful, or we need to be with that in silence and with ourselves. And I've just been really passionate about wanting to. It's why I've like over the last decade or whatever gone on social media and been more conscious about trying to like do quote unquote real talk.
Yes.
Because I'm just sick of this like shiny world that it feels like our whole society is trying to portray or attain. That's not the full picture of what it is to be human.
True. You're absolutely right. I think that the reason why it comes across as that is because the people that are in pursuit of healing and personal development are looking to feel good. Mm-hmm. So a big part of the message is a call to raising your vibration. A big call of the message is about learning how to release the negative emotion. And in the practice and the teaching of that, what ends up happening is there is this accidental communication that it is somehow wrong or bad to feel bad. And that's not true at all. That's not true at all. And I love the way you just explained it. Like, you're missing out on what it means to be human, to feel shitty, to feel depressed, to feel grief. Like, these are all very human emotions.
Yeah.
I think the point that I want to make on this part of the conversation is that it's all about honoring wherever you're at. You know, honoring when you're feeling terrible, honor the 1 out of 10, honor the grief, honor the anger, honor the depression. Don't allow yourself to bypass whatever you're feeling. That's not what this conversation is about at all. Embrace where you're at and feel it fully. The point of the conversation around raising your vibration is understanding the truth. And the truth is that to have your vibration raised feels good. And it feels good to feel good. In other words, no one wants to feel shitty for a long period of time. And the ironic thing is that in order to get out of the shit, you have to feel the shit first. And that is the part that gets lost on so many people. It got lost on me for years. For years. I got invested into Eckhart Tolle, Abraham Hicks, all sorts of different wonderful, wonderful personal growth, spiritual growth teachers. And it was lost on me that in order to raise my vibration, I first had to feel where I was at first. And I was absolutely for years one of those people that thought it was wrong to feel bad. And that's why, I opened up by saying that it is not wrong to feel bad. You will not attract terrible things. The point of the conversation is to acknowledge that feeling bad for a long period of time feels bad. And in order to raise your vibration, we have to honor and be humble to where we're at now, talk to someone, process it in a responsible way. We all know that there's multiple ways of getting that done. And when you process it, make it the intention to raise the vibration. Why? Not to be one of those shiny people in the world, but because to raise your vibration feels good. Raise your vibration makes you feel back in alignment with your authentic self again. When you're a 10 out of 10, or heck, even an 8 out of 10, you feel you're on the tinge of joy. And then when you're at that 10, you're flying high, baby. And it feels so good. It feels so blessed. It feels so beautiful. And it would be a disservice to people, I think, to not say that is actually where we are. Now, the word supposed to makes it sound like we should be there all the time, and that's not what I mean. But I think our life purpose is to feel joy, not all of the time, but most of the time. Why? Because it feels good to do so.
And to be living in such a way where you are living a life that would allow you to feel that most of the time.
Absolutely.
And that's not to say you're not going to have moments. Obviously, shit happens in life where it's inevitable. You know, you lose a job, loved ones pass away, you lose a partner. Like, these things are inevitable that they're going to happen. But I do agree with you that, like, hopefully the majority of our life, we should be aiming to live our lives in a way where we are connected to gratitude and joy and feeling good. Yeah.
High vibe. Not the shiny bullshit ones that we see a lot of people projecting from a inauthentic place, but from an honest, vulnerable, real, no shits given form of expression.
So from the perspective that you're talking about raising your vibration, it's more from the angle of like asking yourself, checking in, doing an honest assessment. Where am I at right now on a scale of 1 to 10? Genuinely asking yourself, okay, like, what do I need to feel even just a little bit better right now? And doing that thing.
Yeah.
The thing that I love coming from the angle of, and this is why I love like holistic wellness, because there are different angles that we can come at things. Like
100%. There's so many different ways you can go about this.
Yeah. So like you're coming at it from more of that mindfulness piece, having that logical, emotional conversation with yourself. And me with my nutrition background, I love coming at it from that angle, because so there is like a huge reality. If you want to feel better, you want to raise your vibration, like food is very, 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 very vibrational. And depending on what you're putting in your body, alcohol, processed food, sugar, like these things dramatically can impact our vibration and how we feel.
Yes.
And I definitely have a bit of a bias here because for me, this has probably been the biggest thing that's impacted my personal vibration and how I feel
Yes.
are these things. It's like,
What you put into your body.
it's what I put into my body, but it's like the 4 foundations of health that we talked about when I was in nutrition school, which is like your nutrition, realizing that processed food and all these different things, they can hijack your brain and release like crazy levels of dopamine and serotonin. And then you have crashes like that. What you put in your body, very much so. Alcohol is a depressant. Like these things very much can impact our hormones, the neurotransmitters in our brains. Sleep, like getting adequate sleep. If you don't have a good sleep, that's very much so going to impact your vibe.
Right.
Exercise, the endorphins that you get from moving your body,
Yeah.
from sweating, that's going to improve your vibe. And then the other one is like your stress.
Yes.
So maybe that's speaking more to the what you were talking about before, like checking in. How are you doing mentally, emotionally? What do you need? Do you need connection with a family member, a friend? Do you need to talk it out? Do you need a counselor or a coach? But like these are the foundational things that every human being and our bodies need to feel good. And if you are
Yes.
not doing those things, your vibration is definitely going to be impacted.
Hundo P.
Yeah.
Hundo P. Yeah. There's multiple slices of the wellness pie,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think that I'm glad that you inserted that in there because that is such a massive part of what it means to be in a consistent high vibrational state.
Well, yeah, I don't know
Yes.
about you or anyone else out there. If you've ever done like a month-long detox where you like quit drinking alcohol and you eat only clean food, you cut out sugar, like
Oh boy.
how
You're-
different do you feel versus during the holidays when you're going to Christmas parties, you're drinking more, you're eating all the sweet treats and like,
you can almost guarantee that you will use the language, I feel higher. Like my energy feels higher when you do
Yeah.
that.
totally.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think at some point we should do a part 2 to this episode of talking about how raising your vibration ends up improving what you attract into your life. Because I don't know about you, actually I do a little, that when our vibration is consistently in that higher state, what we tend to attract is of a higher quality nature. We tend to attract things that make us feel more excited and passionate, and life does go good. I have lived life in a depressed state for long periods of time, and I've lived a life of joy for long periods of time. And I know for certain that the things that happen to me when I'm in a higher vibrational state are better.
Let's talk about it another time.
I think because it deserves a whole part 2, I think.
Okay, Bron.
Okay.
Well, my 10.6 has now gone down to an 8.2 because I need some dinner. So shall we?
True. Let's go make some din.
We're going to make a nice little brother-sister dinner.
I think last thing that I want to say to people is that now, when you're listening to this, I want you to let these words land in your heart. And I want you to realize and remember that you are worthy of feeling good. You are worthy of living and being at that 10 out of 10 most of the time. You deserve that. You deserve that. I know that there are a lot of people out there who don't think they're worthy of feeling that good because they were never shown it. They were never provided a space where they can experience that. And I want this moment to be a reminder that if you're listening to this right now, you do deserve it and you are worthy of it and you can have it consistently. And it is not out of your reach, no matter who you are, what age you're at, where you came from, what you did or what you didn't do, regardless of the amount of shame or grief or guilt you feel in your life, you can move towards a life where you are feeling that 10 out of 10 most of the time. And that's from my heart to you.
Thank you, Bron.
Yeah.
We love you guys. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Have an amazing week.
Sending out a lot of love.
High vibe it, baby. Hope you get connected. Ask yourself this week, what do I need to just feel a little bit better? Do that for yourself.
Relief is the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Relief, relief, relief. You deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy. Sending out love.
Okay, bye.
Bye.